if you are an Indian football fan, especially if you have followed two giants of Indian football, Mohun Bagan and East Bengal, because after 19 years, we're seeing these two Kolkata giants in a Bengal derby in the Durand Cup final. Now, we're going to set this big game for you. We'll also look back at the rivalry and what makes it so special. How is it that this rivalry is embedded in the cultural fabric, really, of Kolkata and of Bengal? Shayan Mukherjee is the perfect person to have a conversation with when it comes to specifically Indian football. He lives and breathes Indian football. He's been, he's covered a lot of these matches. And one thing that's impressive about Cheyenne as a colleague is that very often I meet people who talk about international football, club football in the West. But when you talk to them about Indian football, its history, its origins, they don't know as much. So Cheyenne is the right person. And let me welcome him, Cheyenne. Thanks so much for taking the time out. This is huge in the way that, of course, fans in Kolkata and around the world, around the country of these two clubs will be watching this. But the fact that it's come after 19 years, how special is that?
Thank you for having me. It is a big occasion in Kolkata, not only in Kolkata, but in Indian football circuit,
Yeah.
because after nearly 2 decades, we are watching the two biggest clubs in football fighting for a title, and that too a national title. The Durand Cup is the oldest football tournament in Asia and the third oldest tournament in the world. So it has its relevance. And the interesting aspect is both these teams have won it 16 times each. So
Yeah.
whoever wins it today is going one up on their rivals. Not only winning the derby, but also going one up in the official count, in the overall count of Durand Cup triumphs. So it is a big deal, and both the teams as well as the supporters are cooked, so to speak.
Yeah. I've got to ask you this. Now, you talked about this being the oldest rivalry in Asia and third oldest, right, in the world. So, of course, the relevance of it. But what makes it so special is that these two clubs, that rivalry and the passionate fan base that these two clubs have, right? To have started this rivalry started what, a century back? In 1921, I was reading, was the first game that was played between these two clubs. Then
Right.
in the Durand Cup final itself, they've been head to head, like you said, 16 times. Each team has won
Right.
each of these clubs, and twice I was seeing they were joint winners. So
Right.
they couldn't even
Right.
decide which was the better team. Tell us a little bit more about the rivalry itself and growing up in Kolkata, what that was like. Watching Mohun Bagan and East Bengal in a final.
See, any person who is born in Kolkata and has lived there will
Mm.
get a feel of it. No matter which country, which race, which creed, whatever you do,
Uh,
you will get a feel of it. When the
yeah.
derby comes, 1 day, 2 days before the derby, people start talking in the shops, in the
Uh,
chai attas, in the coffee shops, posters, banners, etc. Social media nowadays, trending topics. So you get a feel of it. Now,
uh,
which side are you on? That depends. Now,
uh,
if you are East Bengal, then this East Bengal has won the derby for once in the last 9 encounters,
mm,
and that was 20 days ago in this tournament itself. In the group stage, they won 1-0,
mm,
and
mm,
that win was after 8 consecutive defeats to Mohun Bagan, which is a record. Consecutive stretch, it's a record.
yeah,
So that adds spice to this contest, because
mm,
that win was after that win on 3rd of August, if I'm correct,
yeah,
was the first win for East Bengal after 4.5 years in the derby, which is a long, which is an eternity in football, if you go by that. So,
mm,
which has given East Bengal now uh, a lot of belief, a lot of confidence.
mm,
The team has played well after that. They are the only unbeaten team in the tournament going into the final. So they are confident.
Yeah.
But now if you are a Mohun Bagan supporter, you will say, yeah, we have won it 8 times. Come on, that was an
Uh,
aberration. The last one, we'll win
uh,
it again.
uh,
It's like bread and butter to us. So this is the stage, and this is how this rivalry in the modern age, continues. That whatever
mm,
you say, we will give you back. It's a tit for
mm,
tat,
mm.
perfectly. So this is how it
Yeah.
rolls on and rolls on for 100 years now, more than 100 years now.
Okay. Uh, so this is the Boro match, right? This is
Right.
the big
Big
match
match.
that all the fans are waiting for. What was it like for you, though? I mean, you've talked about the rivalry and the fans and what they are expecting, but for you, what has been your personal experience of watching these matches? Uh, is there this idea of one-upmanship? Of course, you mentioned this, but specifically, is that something fans get really passionate about their teams? Because we've seen that in IPL, but this goes way back, right? So it's got that history on its side. So what is that like for you growing up?
See, I will tell you one secret. Growing up, obviously,
Huh.
when the team you support, you will support and you will go to matches, watch matches. But
Huh.
the journalist who has covered these matches for 10 years, 20 years, 15 years, whatever, 18 years,
Hmm.
they still side to their teams in the press box
Huh.
while watching the match, while covering the match.
Huh.
And and if there is any controversial decision or any sort
Yeah.
of controversy which happens, then a fight will erupt, an altercation will
Huh.
erupt in the press box itself, that this is not right or this is right. So that is
So
the
much for
thing.
being objective, huh, Shayan?
So much for being objective. So these things happen, you cannot help it. No matter how much objective you tell yourself to be or think yourself to be, deep down
Huh.
you will still feel, "Okay, if that ball would have swung 1 inch a bit more, it would have been a goal." So that things will
Hmm.
always remain. It cannot stop. It cannot
Huh.
stop.
So can I ask you which team do you support?
My entire family is Mohun Bagan, so I cannot go anywhere
Okay.
else. it's
Okay.
it,
So it's
it's in
that
our
as well.
blood.
So if
It's
your
in our
family is
blood.
supporting one team,
Yeah,
it's
yeah. It traditionally it goes like that. That
okay.
you are born into a Mohun Bagan family or a Mohun Bagan club or a member. It goes into
Okay.
that. So and it has been there for now generations, 10 generations, 8 generations, 5 generations. It goes like that. There are exceptions, obviously,
Yeah.
but this is the norm, and this is how this legacy lives on among these two great teams.
Hmm. So you can't rebel and say, you know what, I'm going to
No,
support East Bengal.
no. You see, you can rebel. See, if your mother is an East Bengal supporter and your father is a Mohun Bagan supporter, then you have a
Uh,
choice to make. Sometimes, and sometimes you go the East Bengal way, sometimes you go the Mohun Bagan way, but
uh,
it evens out in the end. And
mm,
no matter what, this and it's all friendly banter. After the match, if you lose, you doff your hat and say, okay, well done.
uh,
And if you win, you just brag about it for a day, and then you again move on in life and move on with the game, with the sport. So this is how it,
yeah, I
it
mean,
moves on.
the only thing you'll probably have is if your mother's team loses, then you won't get dinner that night.
Right.
But
Then but in that case, you can always order hilsa or the prawn, which are the respective respective foods for the two teams.
whatever
So
you
that
want,
goes on.
Swiggy
Whatever you want.
Zindabad. Okay.
Swiggy, yeah, Swiggy is there.
Uh, so let's talk about the two teams then. Coming
Yeah.
into this final, both have had hard-fought wins in the semi-finals, right? Um, so that's one thing where both of them would be desperate to win this final. Of course, having said that, it is I think East Bengal will be slightly more desperate because Mohun Bagan have, they're the reigning ISL champions. They've qualified for AFC. They're going to concentrate on ISL this forthcoming
Right.
season. East Bengal will have that tag of perennial bridesmaids, right? If they do
Right.
not win today. So that desperation, what will that be like for EB? And do you see them winning today?
See, yes, they can win. Firstly, they can win. They
Huh.
have showed it 20 days back, and any derby, it starts 50-50. No matter
Huh.
what teams you have, no matter what history you have, no matter what people say, it starts 50-50. And the team which controls emotions and takes their chances on that very day, generally wins.
Mm.
Now this is the on-field part. The off-field part is a bit different now. Now whoever wins this match today, a
Mm.
certain kind of history will be made, because if Mohun Bagan wins, they will win it for the first time since 2000. So
Yeah.
23 years, 24 years. Now if East Bengal wins, they will win it after 19 years, since
Mm.
2004. So anyways, a sort of history is being made. But the thing is, for East Bengal, it's a bit, as you correctly said, it's a bit desperate, because this is the first trophy they are hunting after
Mm.
11 years. 11 years. The last national level trophy that they won was in 2012, the Federation Cup. After that, is it has been a humiliating experience for them. Such a big club, such history, such honors, over 150 trophies in their 103-year history, but nothing to speak of in the last decade. No major trophies to speak of. And they have, in the 3 years that have played in the ISL, which is the top flight of Indian football now, they have been at the bottom of the 11 teams once, and
Yeah.
ninth twice among 11 teams. So which is unbecoming of a team like East Bengal. So
Mm.
absolutely. So
Mm.
now this Durand Cup final, if they win it, breaks
Mm.
that sort of chain of poor results over a decade.
Yeah.
It gives
Mm.
them a national trophy and a respected trophy first, and
I'm bragging
secondly,
right.
and bragging rights, because they will win it two times over Mohun
Yeah.
Bagan, which is
Yeah.
always a topping on the cake, or topping on the
Yeah.
cherry rather. And secondly, this will give them immense confidence for the ISL, which obviously they want to win, because they haven't won it. Mohun Bagan have won it once last season, so that bragging
Mm.
right Mohun Bagan has. So this thing is important for East Bengal in this context, because in the last 4 5 years, East Bengal has suffered so much, so much. East Bengal fans have suffered so much that at one point of time they literally lost belief in the team. They were
Mm.
like, okay, yaar, फिर से Kolkata Derby, we are anyways not winning it. We're losing
Ah.
it basically. So that streak has snapped after 8 matches, after 4.5 years. Now they have believed that they can again do it. So lightning
Mm.
can strike twice, right?
Mm.
For Mohun
Yeah.
Bagan, it was uh, a great wake up call, because the team they've assembled expensively is a star-studded team in every
Yeah.
which way you look at it. In any position, they have either India internationals, or a World Cupper, or a player who has scored in Euro Championships. That is the
Mm.
pedigree of the team. One. Secondly, they are the reigning ISL champions, and they have retained the core of the team and the coach as well. So they are the better settled side. Now the only drawback they have is that they have lost to East Bengal
Yeah.
earlier in the tournament. So that
Yeah.
itself creates a doubt in your mind. That itself creates a doubt in your mind, that can you do it? We know we can do it, but can you do it? That is the question.
Mm.
Now the thing is, given the strength that Mohun Bagan has, they should dominate proceedings, which they couldn't do in the first match, and then
Mm.
conceded in a counter attack and lost the match. They were under pressure after conceding. Now, in this match, that is why the team which scores first will have a massive advantage of not only dictating terms on the pitch,
Mm.
but also psychological advantage. Because
Sure.
when you go 1-0 down, it is very difficult in a derby to come back. There are numerous
Mm.
instances of doing that, but it takes
Sure.
that much more effort in scoring.
Mm.
And
Mm.
when the clock ticks down, say after 70 minutes, 80 minutes,
Yeah.
that pressure is unbearable for players. Even the players then literally don't know what to do. They just need a goal. How to do it, you don't know.
Mm.
You're just trying for it. So that is the pressure these players will live and will have
Yeah.
to play
Mm.
through. So
Which is,
that which
yeah, no,
which
so
is
I just
which,
want,
which is the case in any derbies, actually, in
yeah.
any high
So
stakes derbies.
do you believe that this will just be, you're not going to see that kind of an attacking mindset early on? That it'll be more about attritional football, like just wear the opposition out.
Right,
Which is what I think East Bengal, which is what they did
right,
in the
right.
last game.
Right, derbies generally are attritional. One
Yeah.
important factor in this match, I think that can be, is the 4 p.m. kickoff. Now, the
Mm.
last derby was a 6 p.m. Kickoff in the evening. Now, Kolkata is very hot and humid right now, despite
Yes.
rains. So, the 4 p.m. kickoff will challenge the players physically. Now that is why both teams will at least the first 10 15 minutes to just settle down into a rhythm. And then
Mm.
they try to pick up momentum. And I feel in these matches, moments are important or a rhythm is important. You have a rhythm. If you can score in the rhythm, then you carry
Mm.
that rhythm forward throughout the match. If you miss chances or you can't score, then the rhythm changes after a while. The other team then comes back and starts dominating, and then
Mm.
it becomes difficult that since you have not capitalized on your moments, then you have to control yourself and you have to defend well just to stay in the
Mm.
game, not to concede. That is a difficult art. That is not
Mm.
easy in a derby, which
Mm.
is which is
Because
which is which
no,
is
so
which is
I'm just
important.
wondering what Fernando would look to do then against
Now, now,
possibly
now the
what will be a very defensive East
right.
Bengal side.
Yeah, no, the two coaches have chosen in reads
Mm.
interesting, because Mohun Bagan has dropped Jason Cummings, their 2002 World Cup star Australian striker. He has scored 4 matches on the trot, 3 of them
Yeah.
penalties, but still
Yes.
he has benched him, and he has included Armando Sadiku, the
Mm.
Albanian international striker, who is the first Albanian to score in Euro Championships for his country in 2016. So now he is the person who scored Mohun Bagan's winning goal against Goa in the semi-final. Mohun Bagan won
Yeah.
2-1. He scored 4 minutes after coming onto the pitch in the second half. So
Mm.
I think he has gone with current form and confidence of Sadiku, because Sadiku didn't admitted that in the first derby he didn't play well, and he is
Mm.
motivated to do well this time and win it for his team. I think he has gone with that, and the rest
Do
of the
you
team
think they
select.
should have played Cummins given how good he's
Yeah,
been?
yeah, then it would have been a tough choice between Sadiku and Dimitri Petratos, the other Australian World Cupper. I think
Mm.
he has gone with one striker, one box striker, so to speak, and Ashik Kurunian and Dimi as two wingers, and Sahal Abdul Samad and Hugo Bumus as the two attacking playmakers to assist him. So I think it was a straight swap between Cummings and Sadiku. Fernando chose Sadiku for this match. Now, will it
Mm.
succeed or not? We have to see. Now, in case of
Mm.
East Bengal has uh, taken uh, at least 5 defenders in their starting 11.
Mm.
Four and Rakib. Rakib is the interesting addition into the starting 11. Mohammad Rakib. He is a defender.
Mm.
Now, I am interested to see where he will play. Either
Huh.
will he play as a central defender, or as a side back, or as a holding midfielder in the midfield zone. I am interested
Mm.
to see that one. And
Mm.
secondly, the other players have all selected themselves. There is Nanda Kumar, the scorer of the match-winning goal for East Bengal in the last derby. There is
Yeah.
Naurim Mahesh Singh. Xavier Severio is a Spanish striker for them. And Saul Crespo and Bora Herrera are the two
Yeah.
central midfielders for them. That is fine. But what I am interested to see is where Rakif slots in, and how does their two side backs, Manda Rao Desai and Harmanjot Singh Khabra, the two experienced side backs, how they play, because
Mm.
they don't have age on their side, and they have not been at their best in this tournament. So that is
Mm.
where East Bengal can exploit them. Yeah, Mohun Bagan can exploit them. Sorry, and I would like
Yeah.
to see how they counter the pace of Ashik Kurunian, Dimitri, and Samad. That is where the match can
Mm.
be determined.
I was just reading this statement from their coach, Mohan Bagan's coach, where he says this is a pre-season tournament for us. It's important to check different players in different positions and
Hmm.
check some details about our system. My job is to
Right.
prepare the plan, help the players, and try to win the trophy. How much of this today's final, the Boro match, is about trying to figure out players, or is it just about going for the kill?
It is bollocks. It is just a way of covering your back. One,
Uh,
and secondly, it is just a way of deflating pressure from you. One,
mm,
and secondly, uh, this experimentation, if I may say so, was the reason for Mohun Bagan's downfall in the first match against
mm,
East Bengal, if you remember, because they
yeah.
tried all their players that they are playing today, or are in the in the squad, 18-member squad,
Mm,
but they didn't fire in that match. Now the good thing about this Mohun Bagan is, after that match, the players realized that winning derbies are important for the prestige of
mm,
the club, for the prestige of the fans,
absolutely.
and
Mm,
and and on top of that, you can win a national level trophy. After ISL, you can also win the Durand Cup, which is
mm,
huge. One, and secondly, no one wants to lose finals. Whoever is the
yeah.
opponent. Now,
Yeah.
and if you get East Bengal and you beat them and win it, it helps them for their AFC Cup and ISL matches. And number three
Mm,
is, the good thing about Mohun Bagan is, after that loss to East Bengal, they have won important matches. Two knockout qualifiers they won against uh, Machinda, the champions of Nepal, and Abahani, a big
mm,
team from Bangladesh. They were
yeah.
knockout matches. They were knockout matches, and they won two matches in the knockout matches in this tournament.
Mm,
Quarterfinal against Mumbai City 3-1. The semi-final against Goa 2-1. Mumbai are the reigning ISL Shield champions, a great team, a good team, and Goa are also a very good team, formidable team. So they have at least four matches that they won in knockout phases. So they
mm,
are better prepared for these knockout matches. They are well drilled,
mm.
and but
You
in
know,
case of East Bengal, they have only won two knockout matches, the two quarterfinals,
yeah.
the
But what do
quarterfinal and the
you,
semi-final.
yeah,
So
but what
this
do
is
you,
where Bagan has a slight advantage, I feel, the
sure.
pulse of the
So what do you
knockout match.
attribute this East Bengal's turnaround to? This sudden winning streak that they're on.
Mm-hmm.
They've beaten Mohun Bagan. Clearly, on paper, Mohun Bagan is a much better side. They haven't lost a single match. Yes, they've not had to play some as many hard matches as Mohun Bagan has had to. But still, what is that one thing you think that has changed East Bengal?
Two factors have made a huge impact on their campaign so far. One is the team that they have assembled this time is a better team than the last 3-4 seasons. One.
Mm,
And secondly, their coach, Carlos Cuadrat, he has set up the team in a compact, organized, nice manner, in a very disciplined way. He has identified the strengths of the team and the weaknesses of the team, and he has built the team on the strengths of the team, which the team benefits from. They have a clear idea of how to play, how to score, and how to win matches. That may not be
mm,
pretty always.
exactly.
They have their weaknesses, which
Mm,
was exposed by Northeast, because Northeast were 2-0 up in the semi-final, 2-1 up with 1 minute to go. They
mm,
conceded in the last minute. They lost in the tiebreaker. That is a different part of the story. But
mm,
East Bengal came back, which is important for the belief of a team, for the belief of the players, and it helps the team bond as a unit, which is very important in these derby matches. Unless and until you have some individual performances, a hat trick or a world class goal which no one could have visualized,
mm,
other than that, you need a team game to win matches, especially
mm,
derby matches, which is where
mm,
East Bengal are well placed this
mm,
time around,
mm. So, if it is attritional football, there's every chance that it might come down to penalties. If you look at that,
right?
who has the edge between Prabsukhan Gill and Vishal Kaif?
No, East Bengal won the match, last match, the semi-final in a tie-break. So they have that experience.
Hmm.
But this Mohun Bagan team also won two matches last season to win the ISL, the semi-final and the final. So they are also pro at that, and they have, from what I understand, yesterday in the last practice session, they practiced penalties, keeping in
Hmm.
mind the prospect of a shootout. So
Hmm.
let's see. Anything can
Yeah,
happen when 65,000 will shout at you. at least 30,000 will shout at you and abuse
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
then your knees can tremble, right? Even if you are Maradona or Pele or Ronaldo or Messi, and that has
yeah.
happened, by the way. Both of these superstars has missed
When was
penalties.
your last experience of this as a spectator, as a not as a journalist?
Mm, I think 23 years back, 99
And what
2000.
was that like?
I was happy because Mohun won 2-0.
Huh,
So I remember that. And great
huh,
experience. You cannot compare it with anything else, at least not in Indian
huh.
football. World football, there may be big classicals,
Is
obviously.
it okay? Okay, compare that to the experience of playing a World or watching a World Cup match at the Eden Gardens between India and Pakistan.
Uh, no, there are two differences. One is that is cricket, so a different set of audience or spectators come.
Correct.
One. And
Yeah.
secondly, since it is India Pakistan in India, suppose, so the entire crowd is pro India primarily. But in case of
Ah,
a derby, it
this
doesn't
one is.
happen. In case of a derby, is it's the supporters are 50-50, by the way. And this time around it will be 50-50 because East Bengal are charged up after winning the last derby, and there is a huge craze for tickets. People yesterday there were roadblocks in Kolkata in front of
Mm.
the two clubs because there was a scarcity of tickets. 65 tickets have been given, 63 or 65,000 tickets.
House.
uh,
Yeah.
but but the two clubs only got 5,000 each, so 10,000. The rest 50
Mm.
55,000. No one is quite sure what happened or where it has gone.
Mm.
And supporters are claiming that we haven't got tickets, and there is a huge black marketing of tickets going on. So 100 rupee tickets are selling for 1,200 rupees. So let's see. The stadium will be a chock a block affair,
Sold out.
definitely.
Yeah. Completely
But yeah,
packed.
but who gets in, how many gets in, that needs to be seen.
So the other thing that everybody's talking about before this big final is the referee and
Right, right.
the controversy around it because obviously Mohun Bagan seems to think that East Bengal's been helped and East Bengal thinks Mohun Bagan's been helped coming into the finals. What's your take on that?
See, there have been refereeing lapses, no doubt about it. But the funny thing is, both teams have benefited from it and also suffered because of it. Now, you can argue that Mohun Bagan got a better deal, but that
Mm.
is subjective, obviously. That is subjective. So, refereeing can be better, it should be better. But that is part of the game. You live with it, and this is not
Mm.
the first time that referees have bungled in big matches and big
Mm.
tournaments. In Indian football, in world football, even in World Cups, even referees do make
Correct.
mistakes. It is part of the game. You move along
Mm.
with it.
Mm. Mm. Lastly, then let's put you on the spot and be objective as you can be. First, and by the way, compliments to you because you've analyzed this beautifully. There was no sense of, I wasn't seeing a Mohan Bagan bias in the analysis. So, which is great, which I guess over the years as a journalist, you've
Yeah, you
figured
you
out.
imbibe it. You try to imbibe it.
Yeah. Okay, so let's put you on the spot. What is going to be the score line? Are they going to win it in regulation time? What will be? What are you expecting?
If it's penalties, then it's anybody's game, obviously.
Mm.
But if Mohun Bagan has to win it, then they have to win it within 90 minutes, and they should try to do it. East
Mm.
Bengal will try to extend the match as far as possible and look for a goal on the break. As I said earlier, the team which scores first will get a massive boost. So that's
Yeah,
how
is
I
that what
I
East
see.
Bengal will try to do? Just try to get this match into penalties
No, but they will try to extend the match as far as possible
as far as
in a
possible.
0-0
Yeah.
situation, in a 0-0 situation or a 1-1 situation, and then
Mm.
take it from there. Then take it from there.
Mm. Mm. Okay, Shayan Mukherjee, thank you so much for taking the time out to talk to us and putting this big game in perspective. This is a huge match. Um, in Indian football, I mean, this is the oldest rivalry, a
Right.
century-old rivalry in Asia's oldest tournament. So there are, there is a lot there that we're looking forward to in how this plays out. But thank you so much once again. Hope you enjoyed this show, guys, with Shayan and me. Do write to us in the comment section below what you think of it. Who do you think will win today? And whether we were spot on with the analysis. Shan, anything? Last words before we say goodbye?
Uh, Thanks for having me. I hope to enjoy a good match.
Yes, that's what we're looking forward to, a good match with East Bengal winning. You know, Shan, is that okay? that's just that's just to that's
Then the
just to
Mohun
write
Bagan
you
fan
up.
then the Mohun Bagan fan in me will again arise. So I don't want that. Let's keep it
Okay,
fair
let's
and
keep
square.
it neutral. That's it then. Hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.
Okay, thank you.